live on YouTube. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kristen Dawn Hefner, and I am the Measure 110 Engagement and Strategy Manager with OHA, and I will be assisting with facilitating today's meeting. The Oversight and Accountability Council welcomes and encourages community input. Members of the public are invited to submit public comments or get on our interested parties email list by emailing oha.measure110@dhsoha.state.or.us. That email address and more information about the council can be found on the Measure 110 OAC website. OAC members have asked that OHA and other staff who are present in the meeting space introduce themselves in the chat. Please share your role with the agency, and if you are a subject matter expert, your area of expertise. And I will now pass it off to Dharma to welcome everyone.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dharma. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the tri-chair, one of the tri-chairs for the council. Welcome for our special session meeting. Thanks for meeting, folks, so we can get some things wrapped up. I know we have a vote, and I want us to make sure we still have quorum, but our agenda today is that we have some grant extension discussions and a vote. We have a 4-time grant extension discussion and vote, and then OHA updates. And then I'll pass it off to Cindy for attendance.
Hey, thanks, Dharma. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay,
Yep,
great. I apologize. I'm having lots of tech issues today. Hello, everybody. Again, thanks for coming. When I say your name, if you could please say here. Amy.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Amy. Carlos?
Here.
Hi, Carlos. Caroline?
Here.
Hi, Caroline. Dharma?
Here.
Hi, Dharma. Hubert?
Here.
Hi, Hubert.
Hello.
Hunter?
Here.
Hi, Hunter. Jackie?
Here.
Mercer? Hi, Jackie.
Here.
Jaren?
Here.
Hi, Jaren. Keisha? Don't see Keisha yet. Leticia?
Here.
Hi, Leticia. Linda?
Here.
Hey, Linda, welcome back. Melinda?
Here.
Hi, Melinda.
Hi.
Meredith?
Here.
Hey, Meredith.
Hello.
Morgan?
Here.
Hey, Morgan. Nicole? Don't see Nicole yet. Onisha? No Onisha yet. Ron?
Ron's here.
Hey, Ron. Ryan?
Here.
Hey, Ryan. Sabrina?
I'm here.
Hi, Sabrina. Zeb?
I'm here.
Hey, Zeb.
Hi.
Annalise let us know she would not be here today. And Jackie, favorites.
Here.
Hey, Jackie. And then we have 18 present, but I'll watch for the others to join.
Thanks, Sydney. So I guess next we have the grant extension discussion. And is that being led by Kristen? Okay.
It is. Just pull up the slides. Thank you. So before we get started on this presentation, we're going to do a call for conflicts. As a reminder, OAC members with an actual conflict of interest cannot participate in discussions on the matter if that presents the conflict. So we will be calling for conflicts. On the agenda today is a proposed funding decision for current Measure 110 grantees. If you announce a potential conflict of interest, you must announce the nature of the conflict, but you can participate in the discussion and vote. If you announce an actual conflict of interest, you must announce the nature of the conflict and refrain from participating in the discussion, and please turn your camera off. If there are not enough members to vote on the proposal, members with actual conflicts of interest will be asked to vote in roll call order until a majority of votes for or against is reached, and 8 votes are needed to make an official decision. Next slide. Oh, I think this is the wrong presentation. Sorry, we're getting to that one. That's going to be the next presentation, but we have a different presentation first. Sorry about that. The conflict of interest information will be the same, but the slate of grantees will be different. All right. And next slide. There we go. Yeah, this is the right slate of grantees. So these are the grantees that we will be, you will be voting on to extend their grants for time and for funding. So if you have a potential or actual conflict of interest with any of these grantees, please raise your hand now. All right, seeing no hands. As a reminder for our extension process, all partners were asked to submit a grant extension budget request. Partners could not request capital funding for property or vehicles. Partners were also asked to calculate their spending and carryover funds. And they were essentially asked, what will you need to maintain Measure 110 services through June 2025? The Measure 110 then validated all of these requests to ensure that budget asks were clear, that partners didn't cut services, and that budget asks were in alignment with the approved scope of work. Next slide. Partners were then asked to certify their budget request, verifying their carryover spending and that their ask was accurate and correct. Partners also affirmed that any unspent grant money would be returned and were asked to update contact information. Finally, the Measure 110 verified partners were in substantial compliance with the terms of their grant, meaning they had current registration with the Secretary of State's office. They had submitted all required certificates of insurance, all 12 policies and procedures, and did not have any outstanding items to cure. So we have been bringing these groups of partners to you all for approval in batches once steps 1 through 4 were complete. Next slide. Here's the same slate of grantees, as well as their proposed total 36-month budget, which would run from July 2022 through June 2025. And here is a sample motion. Let's stop and see if there are any questions. Or if
Can we
anyone
make a
wants to
motion now?
Yeah, go for it, Melinda.
I make a motion to extend the grant agreements of the organizations and dollar amounts listed on slide 6 through June 30th, 2025.
Second.
Thanks, Dharma. All right, Sydney, can you take a vote?
Yes. And I just want to apologize. Carly and I are both having some issues. So if there's any delays in the screens or anything, apologies in advance. I should have apologized at the beginning. I apologize again. Amy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Carlos?
Yes, sorry, my microphone.
No problem. Caroline?
Yes.
Dharma?
Yes.
Hubert?
Yes.
Hunter?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
Jaren?
Yes.
You didn't see Keisha before I started calling vote. Still don't see her. Leticia?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Melinda?
Yes.
Meredith?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Thanks, Morgan. Let's see, has Nicole joined? Don't see her yet. Onisha. Don't see Onisha yet either. Apologize. Ron.
Yes.
Thank you. Ryan.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
And Zeb.
Yes.
Thank you. That passes with my count is messed up, but I believe it's 18. I'm sorry, 17.
Thank you, Sydney. And we had one final slide for this presentation. Following the vote, we told you all back when we started this, we would also let you know if there were any Measure 110 grantees that were not extending in the next 18 months. There are only 4 on this represented on this slide. However, there is still a complete burn in each county. These partners all had duplicative services, so there is not a service gap in any of these counties. So these partners will be finishing up their work at the end of this year. Our staff will work to do a final reconciliation with them and then recoup any unspent funds and return those back to the Drug Treatment and Recovery Services Fund once we have that done. But wanted to give you all notice about these final 4.
Thanks. And then do you just want to jump right into the next presentation?
Sure. So we have another presentation. This is the final one for the year about grant extensions. And this one is a little bit different than the ones that we have brought to you in the past and up until this point. So we can bring up those slides that we started with. We'll return to them. There we go. So we will be voting on extending grants as well with this. So again, if you announce a potential conflict of interest, you must announce the nature of that conflict, but can participate in the discussion and vote. And if you announce an actual conflict of interest, you must announce the nature of the conflict and refrain from participating in the discussion, and please turn your camera off. So this presentation is about these following grantees. Okay, seeing no hands. So these slides, very familiar. Sabrina, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I had can we go back to the previous slide?
Sure.
Is that just adapting Coos County?
It is adapt in, we're talking about all 4 of their counties, Douglas, Josephine,
Okay.
Coos, and Curry.
I just wanted to make sure that I read that correctly. Thank you.
Yep, you read it right. Okay, so same process that we just ran through. So you can just a reminder, everyone submitted their grant requests, we validated them. Slide. Partners certified their budget request, and we verify that partners are in substantial compliance. And so that brings us to step 4, the kind of last check, if a partner had any outstanding items to cure. Go to our next slide. So we have those 2 grantees that you saw, Adapt and Just Men in Recovery. Both have outstanding items to cure. They both have their grant agreements that expire at the end of this month, unless you all extend them. The items to cure are related to program expenditures and data, and we have been working with both grantees in good faith to resolve these outstanding items. So as a reminder, when a grantee has had an outstanding item to cure, we work through a process at OHA. We offer technical assistance. We give them an opportunity to respond, to correct the issues, And sometimes there's a back and forth that happens, and that just takes time. Unfortunately, we just don't have the time to continue that process and to see it out to the end with the deadline of the end of the month. So while we are working with these two grantees to resolve these remaining items, we are asking the OAC to extend the expiration date for these two grantees by 3 months. So their new expiration date will be March 31st, 2024, and to extend for time only, no additional funding, as both grantees have reported being underspent. This extra time will allow them to continue offer services and work to resolve these items following the same cure process established by OHA that all grantees previously had the opportunity to follow, and we just haven't had that kind of runway and time to see it up to the end. And if the OAC extends these two grantees for time, we would bring back their full extension request to you all before March 31st to consider for additional funding and time when the remaining issues are resolved. And Sabrina, I see your hand.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify. So they're gonna, because of the deadline, they don't have enough time to come into not be into the being cured, I guess you'd say. And so they're not asking for more money anyways, and no more money is going to be dispensed because they have enough money. And so we're just asking to extend that deadline. Is that correct?
Correct, yes, so that we have more time to work through all of their issues with them. We've done this with grantees before this, and so we want to give them that same opportunity to come into compliance and work through their issues. And then when that happens, we could bring back a full extension back to you all in a new year.
Okay, and then so no more money is going to be distributed until they're cured, or the next distribution date?
Until, well, they would receive their disbursements as per their current grant agreement. So that might be one more in January, which is what's in their current grant agreement, but then no more after that until we brought back them to you all for another 18-month extension.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. We have a proposed motion for this, but I want to make sure that you all have the time to ask questions or discuss.
I'd like to make a motion. I move to extend the grant agreements of the organizations listed on slide 2 through March 31st of 2024 without any additional funds. We request that OHA bring each of these grantees extension requests to the OAC for consideration before March 31st of 2024, if or when remaining items are incurred.
Second.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dharma. Sabrina, is your hand still up, or another question? Nope. Okay. Is there any other discussion or questions? Okay, Sydney?
Yep, and that motion was made as it was written on that slide and seconded. Amy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carlos?
Yes.
Caroline?
Yes.
Dharma?
Yes.
Hubert?
Yes.
Hunter?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
Jaren?
Yes.
Has Keisha joined us? I don't think so. Leticia?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Linda?
Yes.
Melinda?
Yes.
Meredith?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Nicole? Has Nicole joined us? I don't think so.
I'm here.
Oh, hi, Nicole. Sorry, would you
Hi.
like to vote?
Yes, and yes.
Yes and yes. Okay, perfect. Let me just mark you here on this one. Yes and yes. Okay, perfect. Onisha, has Onisha joined us?
Yes.
Hey, Onisha, would you like to vote?
Yes. My vote is yes.
Vote is yes. Okay. Ron,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
and Zeb.
Yes.
Thank you. And that passes with 19 yes votes. Back to you, Kristen.
Thank you. I think we just have OHA updates last, if I'm mistaken. So I think we have one more little presentation. Not trying to infringe on anyone's trademark, but we thought it would be fun to do a little OAC Measure 110 wrapped year in review, because y'all have done so much this year and we are so grateful for your partnership. So few little memories. You can advance the slides, Sydney. Thank you to Sydney for putting this together. But thanks to Measure 110 and all of you, thousands of people have had access to new and expanded services this year. So the information in this slide, in the following slides, has been taken from this year's OAC meeting. Yeah, Hubert, I see your hand.
Kind of curious. I don't know if I should wait till after we do this or should I say this before we do it? Because, but this, I was just curious. I heard on the news the other day that the lifeline is no longer being used by us, but they hired another phone line.
how about I answer that question after this?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That's a good update. All right. Thanks for asking that, Hubert. All right. So next slide. We've had 43 full OAC and subcommittees meetings. We've welcomed 7 new members to this council. And as of last week, this week, that number just went up. We've approved 214 grant extensions, which is so much work. Thank you for sticking with all of these meetings and presentations. Really exciting that this work gets to continue for another 18 months. Next slide. You've also voted to allow extra time to providers to create thoughtful and really purposeful policies around the clients that are served with Measure 110 dollars, and offered really thoughtful feedback on the process that we've used to extend these grants. We also approved 11.4 million in set aside funds for the tribes extension, which is really exciting to see their work continue as well. Slide. Several of you participated in the legislative work group this year that led to new supporting legislation, House Bill 2513. You've all given really concrete and helpful feedback to assist the Secretary of State in their audit, which came out this morning, if you have not seen it. And many of you on behalf of or in support of the OAC and Measure 110 gave testimony at the Capitol during the 2023 legislative session.
Yeah.
Next slide. So we really want to shout out to the tri-chairs who put in extra hours and energy to guide this council through a successful 2023. We really appreciate your partnership. Also to DOJ for your prompt response on all things. To our colleagues in the Office of Contracts and Procurement who have really been prioritizing all of these grant extensions and doing a phenomenal job getting them out. And to our data team who have built those wonderful dashboards that have really been able to tell the story of Measure 110 and share the data that this program has produced so thoughtfully. So thank you from all of us at Measure 110 to all of you, we really appreciate everything you've done for this year and really look forward to continuing this work next year. Thank you for indulging us. That's fun. Okay, so Hubert, to answer your question, the hotline has not shut down. We OHA selected a new hotline contractor this fall after a competitive bidding process. They are called Health Resources in Action, and they are a Boston-based nonprofit that runs several other helplines in other states. They attended a media subcommittee maybe last month to introduce themselves. And we've recorded that, and that meeting is available on the website, but we are hoping to bring them back to a full committee meeting in the new year to introduce themselves because they have some really exciting ideas on how to expand outreach efforts and reach more people with a hotline. So we're really excited to have them on board. They did create a new 833 toll-free number, but the existing hotline numbers do feed into it, so they are still valid and still working. And that transition happened at the beginning of December, but the hotline is open, it is accepting calls, and it is going to continue through the next 18 months. So that is the latest on the hotline, and we'll definitely bring more information and the new contractor to you all in the new year.
Thank you. That's good information to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Amy.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say what a privilege it's been serving, and I'm excited to continue to serve. I'm not going nowhere, but I just really believe in the work that we're doing. And in the news this morning, there was a spotlight on some the officers, being frustrated with the criminalization, and they want to recriminalize drugs and all this stuff. But what happened in the interim of that, in this news thing this morning, I saw was that it showed how ballot measure 110 is starting to help and how it takes time to implement and change, right? And the state of Oregon is doing something brand new, and that's what we're doing. We are implementing these things. These things are going to take time to show. Measures and outcomes are not instantaneous. That's why it's measurable, right? And so, it was encouraging to see some success stories represented on there, and to see one guy that let them film him that, is hopefully going to be seeking out, the representatives at the burn to get help. So, I mean, we are making a difference. It's not that we're not. We are doing the work, and it's showing. It's just that it's measurable outcomes, and we've got to have time to measure things correctly. So I get where some people's frustrations are, and I was one of them. I was one of them that was like, we need more accountability and stuff. But I think as I've grown in being a part of this committee and the work that we're doing, I have seen a lot of things that have educated me as well. And the fantastic people that I've been working with on this committee have educated me. Like all the people, some of them aren't here anymore, but I just continue to grow and learn with everybody. So I just want to thank you, everyone, and just happy holidays to the crew.
Thanks, Amy. All right, Dharma, back to you. That is our OHA updates.
Well, I think that's all that we have. So I guess with that, thank you everyone for making this meeting and making time. I know it's a busy time of year, so I'm going to give the rest of your day back to y'all. Thanks.
Oh, I see Caroline has her hand up.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Caroline.
Well, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas too, but inside the chat, it says new telephone burn phone number 833-975-0505. So did I miss something? I mean, have we always had a burn number? Who's going to answer the phone at the other end? So,
Yeah, Caroline, that's our Measure 110 hotline number. It's the number that anyone in the state can call, receive a screening, and get a referral to one of the Measure 110 grantees in their community. That hotline was previously run by an organization called Lines for Life. And their contract ended, and we had a competitive process and selected a new contractor called Health Resources in Action. And that is the new phone number. However, the old phone numbers still work and feed into that new line.
Well, I heard you say that, but the way it was in the chat line, it didn't say hotline, it just said burn. So I thought, what did I miss? But I did hear.
You didn't miss anything.
Okay, I have it in my phone now. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a good number to save. All right.
All right, for real this time. Thanks, folks.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.